A damning new report turned Sussex into hell. Grave warning signs for Meghan as popularity plummets. A new report has described Meg as having a strange relationship to objective reality as her year goes from bad to worse. Hello and a very warm welcome back to LVT News. I'm guessing all of you Americans who are listening right now, and probably some Brits too, know all about March Madness. Of course, that is a big thing in American college basketball, and I think in the lives of Harry and Meghan, it is also an annual feature. In March 2020 they flew back to London for their final round of official engagements. While they were there, they managed to generate a lot of news coverage for themselves, and also they revealed just how bad things had gotten within the family. I'm not sure that last part was intentional, but it definitely happened. Then the year after that, in 2021, of course they did that debacle of an interview with Oprah Winfrey. That is a day I don't think anybody will ever forget, and this March appears to be about the same. I mean, the world found out that King Charles kicked them out of their UK home, Frogmore Cottage, and instead decided to offer the keys to the place to his disgraced brother, Prince Andrew. When Meghan and Harry, Chris and their daughter Princess Lily bad, confirming that she and Archie official were going to take the titles that were available to them, Buckingham Palace response was basically a shoulder shrug, and there is also the fairly negative press that they have been getting. As March came to a close, the hits just kept on coming. There were two big reports coming out of the US describing Meghan as desperate for media coverage, saying that she's not on the level and that she and Harry are going to lengths to play the Hollywood game. The first exhibit is a podcast interview done with Vanity Fair writer Vanessa Gregoria in 2018. She did a deep dive into Meghan and her family background. Do you want to feel how painful the passage of time can be? According to the story, Meghan had become the darling of the British press by how things have changed. Miss Gregoria spoke with a former BBC journalist turned podcaster Andrew Gold, and she described Meghan as having a strange relationship to objective reality. She said she has this warped reality, and then she marshals evidence underneath it to support a thesis that may not be the case, and she very much seems to think that everybody is too dumb to figure out what she's doing, and that's where her fatal flaw lies. At one point she mentioned a writer she knew who had spent some time with Meghan for a profile, and she said her takeaway was this person just is not on the level. Gregory has also did an interview with Meghan's estranged half-sister, Samantha, for that 2018 piece, and when she was talking about the Markle family, she said, "There's just something a little off about all of them." And then when she was talking about the couple's highly complicated relationship with the media, she commented, "It's not a monster in her mind because she is the one who would go out for drinks with Piers Morgan. She was desperate for the press to be interested in her, and this is only the latest little clue that the tide seems to be turning against Meghan and Harry in the US. In January, after Harry's book was released, Newsweek published a story that was called "The More Prince Harry and Meghan Markle Say, the Less Americans Like Them," and then in February, Newsweek reported that their popularity in America had fallen to an all-time low, putting both Meghan and Harry deeply into negative territory, and that means the percentage of people who support them was outweighed by people who do not support. And then of course, there was the South Park episode, "The Worldwide Privacy Door." I mean, even the most strong of people would not be immune to that particular burn. It was harsh when March rolled around. Harry and Meghan started being photographed at LA hotspots, and that's a 4-hour round trip from their home. But anyway, that was the first time they have been spotted in law since Makes. On the same day that the whole world found out that they were kicked out of Frogmore by King Charles, they showed up at San Vicente Bungalows, which is a private LA members club. They were passed while they were going in and going out. One member told Page 6 that they had way bigger stars than Harry and Meghan coming in, and no one will ever know they're there. According to that member, Meghan and Harry decided to leave through the main entrance, which naturally put them right back in the loving embrace of a lot of cameras, and then only a little over a week later, Meghan was right back in LA having lunch at another very enjoyed restaurant, Gracie is Madre, where, and this is bizarre, she was photographed by the paparazzi yet again. According to page 6, the reason that Meghan and Harry were suddenly driving so many miles on the PCH to go all the way to law was that they seemed to be playing the Hollywood game like the old pro that former Suits actress Meghan Markle is. But why exactly would Meghan and Mary even need to play any games? I thought they were supposed to have $200 million combined from those content deals. But maybe Meghan has a lot of time in her day with no confirmed jobs or projects on her schedule at all. Last year, of course, as part of a broad round of cost-cutting, including a few high-profile projects, Netflix decided to cut the animated children's series Pearl that Meghan had been working on. Page 6 is also reporting that a second series of Meghan's podcast series Archetypes is never going to happen. But anyway, Spotify hasn't said anything to confirm or deny this news, and the same goes for any book. Previous reports have suggested that the deal landed in 2021 with Penguin Random House, and which led to Harry's book breaking records and probably his father's heart in the process. But anyway, supposedly, according to those reports, Meghan was considering writing a tell-all of her very own. Now there might have been some truth to that, because last year in the interview that Meghan did with The Cut, she made sure to mention that when she was working royal, she did keep a journal so far. Though there has been no sign that a book by Meghan may be in the offing, and other than Harry's and Victor's documentary and his day job as Chief Impact Officer for Better Up, Meghan and Harry's schedules are looking pretty empty. Meanwhile, over in Europe, the royal family has been having a great time this week. Charles and his lovely wife Camilla have been in Germany for their first state visit, which has resulted in huge crowds getting together to try and catch a glimpse of the power couple. A testament to their surprising pulling power is that during one outing to see a military unit, so many people got together on a bridge to catch the most distant of distant glimpses of the king. I mean, I talk about the royal family every single day, and honestly, folks, I'm not even sure that I would want to spend so much time in the cold just to be able to catch a very distant glimpse of. A similar thing happened when Charles and Camilla showed up to a Berlin market, where they kinda seemed pretty excited to get up close and personal with the King and Queen of England. As always, Charles looked happy making small talk with the public about small things, and Camilla looked like she really wished that she was back at the hotel with some duty-free and the TV remote. Honestly, I cannot blame her. I don't think I could do all that either. We can say the same about the week before, when Prince William traveled to Warsaw and support the war effort in Ukraine, where this otherwise uninteresting middle-aged man drew very excited crowds. What seems obvious is that the royal family's image overseas, or at least in Europe, is doing very well, in spite of Meghan and Harry repeatedly having and over the years paint a Buckingham Palace and his denizens bigoted, heartless and self-serving. Pretty soon, Meghan and Harry are going to hit a point where they have been in North America twice as long as they lived in the UK after they got married, because now they have been in North America for 40 months and they only sit in the UK for 20 months after that wedding. The royal family is off being welcomed by the scenes, but it seems like Meghan and Harry are, for whatever reason, pulling movies out of the zealous star play. So let's just hope and pray that we never get to the panty-throwing stage when the newly uber-popular Charles and Camilla are doing walkabouts. I don't think anybody would